If you have a boil alert or you're in an emergency situation and you need to treat your water, one of the simplest ways to make this happen is to boil it. In this video, I want to answer some of the most common questions and go through the 3 steps to make your water safe to drink. Stay tuned. Hello friends and family, thanks for checking in. For anyone new here, my name is Russell Liston, and I'm here to help you as you prepare every needful thing. Today we're talking about treating water by boiling it and making it safe for you and your family to drink. I wish that you could just look at water and say, yeah, that looks safe to drink. Unfortunately, the stuff you can't see is the stuff that's going to make you sick, like the viruses, bacteria, and protozoa. We don't want to put those in our belly. That's why we want to treat it, and that's why we're going to talk about boiling your water today. Let's start by going over some of the most common questions that are asked about boiling water. The first question I'd like to talk about is, what is boiling water? Another way you might say it is boiling water is bubbling water, especially when it comes to our emergency preparedness. We want to make sure that we have a good amount of bubbles coming up from the bottom of the pot, and it's often referred to as a rolling boil. So in our emergency preparedness or in purifying water, we want to make sure that we have a good rolling boil or a lot of bubbles happening in our water. Another common question that's often asked is, at what temperature does water boil? If you're at sea level, water is going to boil at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. As you rise in altitude, the atmospheric pressure decreases and water actually boils at a lower temperature. Where I live, the elevation is around 4,700 feet and water boils at around 203 degrees Fahrenheit. The reason that I'm telling you this is that it relates to our next question. The question is, how long should I boil water? This is a question that you'll hear all kinds of answers for, so I've turned to the CDC for my answer. According to the CDC, they say, bring the water to a full rolling boil for 1 minute. At elevations above 6,500 feet, boil for 3 minutes. So for me, if I'm in town, I'm going to be boiling it for 1 minute. But if I go up in the mountains, I'm going to want to make sure that I bring that water to a boil for 3 minutes. The next question is, does boiling water purify it? And the answer is yes, in the sense that it kills all of the viruses, bacteria, and protozoa that will make you sick. The final question I wanted to address is, what does boiling water not do? So it doesn't take out any of the salts or chemicals or heavy metals or dirt or rocks or branches or trees. It doesn't take any of those things out of the water. And so that's why we need to choose our water source very carefully. Now let's go through the 3 steps on how to purify water to make it safe to drink. The first step I want to talk about is to find the cleanest water that you can. If you're at home and you have a boil alert, this might just be going to the kitchen sink and using that water as your water source. If you're going to need to be taking water from a lake or a stream or a pond, just try to find the best, cleanest water possible. The second step that I want to talk about is called pre-filtering your water. If you're getting your water from your kitchen faucet, this probably isn't a step that you need to do. But if you're getting your water from another source like a stream or a river, this is something you're probably going to want to look into. Pre-filtering your water really isn't that big of a deal. What you're going to do is you're going to collect your water. If there's sediment floating in it, if you have time, you're going to want it to settle to the bottom and then pour the cleaner water off the top. Then, if you have some sort of strainer or a bandana, a coffee filter, or even a good old paper towel works great, you can put that in there and then just pour your water through that, and that will help to collect the sediment that may be in your water. Once you've had a chance to pre-filter all of your water, you're ready to move on to the next step. If you're interested in learning more about pre-filtering your water, I have done a video on that. I'll leave a link below for you to be able to check that out later. All right, we finally arrived at step number 3. We're going to help water to boil. Okay, so we have filled up our container with water. Now we need to light our heat source. Today I'm using this little stove here, and I like to keep it on high. I want to get this water to a boil as quickly as possible, but at the same time I also want to try to conserve fuel. So to help with that, I'm going to be putting a lid on it to help the water to boil more quickly and also to save fuel. I just wanted to show you something really quickly. When I was a Boy Scout and we would see these little bubbles on the bottom of the pot, we were confused and thought that was a rolling boil. We were wrong. Okay, this water has been on the heat source for about 8 minutes, and I just wanted to show you where we are. And this is what you would call a rolling boil. See how those bubbles are coming up from the bottom? That is what we are after. Now that the water has hit its rolling boil, we want that process to continue for 1 minute or up to 3 minutes if needed. And that's it. You have now taken dirty water and made it purified and ready to drink. The final thing I want to talk about is how to use boiled water. There are 3 main things that you'll probably do or use this water for. If your purpose in boiling this water is to be able to have it for drinking water, you're going to want to put the lid back on or keep the lid on it, have the heat turned off, and allow the water to cool down. Once the water's cooled down and you feel comfortable moving it around, you could pour the water off into other type of containers, and then you could put those in the refrigerator or be able to have those to carry around to be able to drink from. You can also use this water to pour into your ice cube trays so that you'll be able to have ice available to put into your drinks. If this water's purpose is for cooking, you could easily take 2 cups, put it into your Mountain House freeze-dried meal, and there you go, that meal's ready to go. But if you're using some of these other type of meals, you may just want to start with the correct amount of water from the beginning because it'll be easier for you to work with. The final thing that treated water is typically used for is cleaning. So this could be used to wash your dishes, wash your hands. You could let it cool down as you brush your teeth, and it could just be used in those manners to be able to keep things clean, knowing that you have a good clean water source that you're using for that. I hope that this has helped you to see how easy it is to treat water by boiling it. I know it takes a little bit of work, but if it helps to keep you and your family safe, I think it's worth it. If you like this video, I'd like to invite you to give us a thumbs up. And if you still have not yet subscribed to our channel, I'd invite you to do that too. Once again, I'd like to thank you for your time, and may God bless you as you prepare every needful thing. Thank you.